Atelier. Atelier.
Not a refugee or anything, I can always come back. I just never felt comfortable there because I felt that things were always measured in very rigid terms. Generations before me that grew up in Israel, they would go from school to a youth movement in the afternoons, which would always be connected to some kind of political movement. Then they would go to the army, then they would go to the university, meet someone, get married, have kids, whatever, and then everything was very systematic, very organized. And I just didn't find my place inside that. There's a very strong meditative value to this. This relaxes me. I come from a very stressful environment, and this is just much more healthy in a way. What I do is sequential art, and I kind of like mix text with image, and sometimes I show a certain unfolding of a scenario visually, just one image after the other. And there's just a scene where there's a very big flood, or kind of like a reenactment of the famous biblical flood. I feel very, very comfortable kind of like swaying between very traditional representations and of image making and practices of image making, and then scanning it, rescanning it, rendering it digitally, then producing it as print, or just leaving it as a file and having it just integrated and embedded in part of my visual sequences, which will be presented on a tablet or screened on some kind of wall or whatever. Yeah, this is a massacre, like a Columbine massacre, through the eyes of one of the victims, or something like that. Again, kids enacting ultra-violent actions, and nobody exactly understands why and what, because they're speaking Japanese or Chinese. First and foremost, the characters which propel my stories are teenagers. I feel very, very close to this world, but more in the philosophical aspects of it, or where we're going to in a society if you look at it through the prism of adolescence. When I came out with Spunk, it was clear to me that I'm not going to look for a publisher in Israel, because no one would publish a book about a 16-year-old Israeli punk rocker who has a MySpace profile. What interests me most is this concept of the digital native. And in that respect, I mean kids who were mostly born after the 90s into this world in which the virtual representation of things has become so tangible and so interactive that they no longer see a difference between the real and the virtual, the digital and the physical. We're trying to change the world. We're trying to affect the world. We're trying to be agents of political action, but we don't exactly understand how to do it or what the effects of our actions can really imply, because everything is just a virtual click away, which means everything and nothing at the same time. So I guess that's what my work tries to highlight, this chaotic notion